Look at this video of a family taking a traditional portrait together. When you take a picture like this, the goal is simple. You want everyone in focus, standing clearly in the frame, with nobody hidden in the shadows. Think of your financial life in the exact same way. The government is now asking you to take a clear, detailed photograph of your wealth. Everything you own and owe needs to be brought into focus and placed visibly in the frame. This requirement comes from a recent piece of legislation called the Anti-Corruption Act, No. 9 of 2023. It requires public officers to completely map out their financial standing. Under this law, every entry you make is a formal, legally binding record of your total personal wealth. The old method of handing in stacks of physical paper is gone. Now you will store your financial snapshot in a secure digital album known as the Centralized Electronic Declaration of Assets and Liability System. This diagram shows exactly where you need to go to upload your information. Notice the correct address on the left, ald.ciaboc.gov.lk. You can reach this safely through the main CIABOC website. Make sure you avoid the old web address, ads.ciaboc.lk, shown on the right. Because this system holds highly sensitive personal data, how you connect to it matters. You should only log in using a secure government network or a private password-protected internet connection at your home. Never access the portal using public Wi-Fi at a cafe or an airport. Connecting through secure private networks ensures your information stays protected from outside access. Securing your connection is your very first step in meeting your legal obligations. When you sit down to declare your wealth, keep in mind that this photograph is a group shot. The law expects you to pull the camera back and include the people closest to you. This diagram shows who needs to be in the picture. The center circle is you, the officer. Branching out, you must include your spouse and any dependent children, no matter how old those children are. Next, the network expands to cover a second group. You need to add details for any other legal dependents you support. Finally, if anyone else has lived in your home and shared your household for at least 6 months before your declaration date, they must be added to the picture too. For every single person now connected to your circle, you will need to gather their official documents. This includes their national identity cards, their tax identification numbers, and their passport numbers. By gathering these documents, you are taking responsibility for properly identifying your entire household network so they can be securely added to your declaration. With the people in place, it is time to fill in the background of your portrait. This means listing all sources of your income. You will need to account for your cash, the balances in both your personal and joint bank accounts, and any corporate rights you hold, such as shares in a business. You also need to describe your physical possessions. For any land or buildings, you must provide the deeds and state the exact size in perches or acres. For vehicles, you will need to list the make, the model, and whether you own it outright or lease it. When assigning a monetary number to these items, the system asks for 2 pieces of information. You need to enter the original price you paid and then provide a good faith estimate of what that asset is realistically worth today. Wealth includes what you owe as well as what you own. You must carefully list out your financial obligations. This includes providing statements and proof for all your loans, your debts, and any agreements where you have promised to pay back a loan for someone else if they are unable to do so. This animation shows a critical rule for filling out the digital form. If you reach a section that does not apply to you, for example, if you do not have a vehicle, you cannot simply skip it. Leaving a box blank triggers an error. Instead, you must explicitly type the word NO. The system operates on absolute clarity. A blank space looks like an intentional omission. Openly stating that you do not own an asset is treated with the same importance as proving the ones you do have. Let's look at what happens if you fail to capture this financial snapshot, submit it late, or intentionally hide an asset from view. Section 90 of the Anti-Corruption Act spells out the exact consequences. It lays out an escalating framework of penalties for non-compliance. This staircase chart illustrates how the penalties grow over time. If you miss the annual submission deadline, you start on the first step. The Commission will issue official warning letters giving you a brief window to correct the mistake. If you ignore the warning and continue to delay, you move up to the second step. Here you face daily administrative fines. These fines are actively deducted straight out of your gross monthly salary or your retirement benefits for every single day your submission is late. If you refuse to submit entirely by September, or if you intentionally provide false information, you reach the top of the stairs. It becomes a criminal offense handled in a magistrate's court. This carries a massive fine equal to 12 months of your salary, or even up to a year in prison. Beyond the fines and jail time, there is one final penalty to be aware of. If investigators discover an asset that you intentionally hid from your declaration, the state has the legal right to permanently seize it. The immediate punishment begins with deductions directly from your paycheck. If left unresolved, it escalates to a courtroom trial and can result in the total loss of the hidden wealth. You now know the rules of the frame. You know exactly which family members and household residents need to be included, and you know how to detail the assets and debts that make up the background. You also understand the financial and legal risks of delaying your submission or providing an incomplete view. With the requirements clear, you are ready to build your profile. In the next video, we will log into the system together. We will walk through the technical process step by step, from creating an account to uploading your very first document. Understanding what the law asks of you is all the preparation you need. Join us in the next video, and we will get your declaration submitted